Hello, Lancers. My name is Mrs. Wallace, and I teach art at Lakeside Middle School. I've been here for about 16 years and have loved every minute of it. So, some of you have already possibly seen me in the hallway. Some of you might be new to Lakeside, but I wanted to at least introduce myself. This video is for the blended learners, and the virtual learners will have a different video. However, I want to go over a few things. I'm going to try to make these videos quite often to make sure that all of us are on the same page. Everybody has questions. Things are changing really rapidly. I know I have questions all day long and been introduced to a lot of new technology. So we're all kind of thrown into a new time, but it's going to be memorable. I can tell you that. You're going to see me looking off to the side quite often because I have a huge list of things that I want to talk about here and cover with you. So this video will hopefully answer some of your questions and you can go back and look at it when you need to. First, I would like to say that when you get here, you will be getting another supply list for art. It's not going to be extensive and cost a lot of money, but I just want you to understand that we are going to have to avoid sharing supplies this year. And that doesn't mean that if I have a pink eraser and you need a pink eraser, that I just won't make sure you have a pink eraser. And everybody's going to try to get what they need. I know that Mrs. McClure, the lady who did the Lancer basket last year with your Lancer dollars, she is going to be making up little gift bags for you, little pencil pouches again. And she will have certain things in there that we will talk about when I see you in person. But additionally, you might need a few things, and I'm going to give you that on paper when I see you. So we'll discuss that in depth later. But I want to make sure that you understand it is just really to avoid the contact between classes where the whole class used to have to share just a few erasers. It's really best for you to have your own materials and not share those with others this year. So that's super important, but we will talk about that more in depth. I'm going to be doing a daily Zoom or Padlet for the blended students. So on days that you're home at the beginning of your regular class period, you will either receive a Padlet from me, and we will go over what a Padlet looks like in class. But it's basically a place where you can ask questions, and I can go back and answer your questions, and your classmates can see the questions that you've asked as well, and the answer that I gave you. So, just like we always say, there is no stupid question. You might have a question, and 15 other people have the same one. So, it gives us a place where we can all have a good discussion, and if there's uncertainty, get all that uncertainty cleared up. As far as the daily Zoom, that's probably going to be the first 10 minutes, maybe 5 minutes of every class period, because I want to make sure the people who are at home don't have immediate questions and that we're all on the same page even if we're not in the same building. Attendance is important even when you are at home. I can't stress that enough. You will be asked to go into your Power School every day, and there will be a Google link up there that will ask you a couple of questions to count you for attendance. And I also want to address just very quickly, as teachers, we are using the term LMS and Power School interchangeably. That's how we've always known it. So it's just being rolled out to you. LMS does not stand for Lakeside Middle School. LMS stands for Learning Management System. And our learning management system is Power School. So that's why when you hear us talking, you might hear us say LMS. I personally am trying to focus on saying power school so there's less confusion. So if you hear me slip up and call it LMS, it's the exact same thing as power school. So back to our list. As far as art class, those of you who have had art class already know that art is a rigorous class and is designed to be interdisciplinary, which means we do read art materials in here and we write responses to them. We incorporate social studies into some of the lessons and some of our other disciplines, history, art history. There's all sorts of things that are going to be mingled in with our art lesson to make this an interdisciplinary class. So I also would like to say that I am not sure how this is going to go. This is my first screencastify. The phone could ring. I've had several interruptions. So my goal is not to have to record this one more time. So if I have to hit pause and it gets a little choppy, you'll have to excuse anything that you hear in the background. So for the first few weeks of class, we're going to focus heavily on skill mastery of the elements of art and the principles of design. Because if something does happen and school doesn't go as we all have planned and we wind up going to remote learning, I want to make sure that you have those basic skills of value and understanding color, and we have a common understanding excuse me, of the terminology for the course, because that's going to be essential to your success in these 18 weeks, making sure that you have a good foundation for art class. And the content vocabulary is also very important. When I ask you to use gradient value, I don't want there to be any misunderstanding as to what that means. So we are really going to focus on that the first few weeks of school. And again, those first few weeks might have a lot of changes in them. So everybody is going to have to be ready to adapt, which is going to be great. When you're in class on your days, you are expected to be working on whatever project we're working on. I know some people love to take things home. A majority of your work needs to be done in class. And there are several reasons for that. One, I want to make sure that you understand the end goal and the final expectation. I also want to make sure that you are doing your own work, because I can't say enough that we do not have anyone else draw for us, and that will be something that will be addressed on an individual basis if that happened. We don't trace, we don't infringe on others' copyright. Things must be changed up a little bit, because it's important that I'm making sure that you're learning and your skills are the ones that are being developed. So it's also important that you use your class time. So when you come here, you will be expected to be working during your class time. On the days that you are home, you are only expected to work about 30 minutes on whatever it is we're doing. You're not getting twice the work because you're going to be a blended learner. So it's going to be up to you to make sure that you are responsible for bringing your project from home and back to school on a regular basis on the days that you're supposed to be at school. And I know there's a lot going on and people struggle remembering all the details, but it is going to be very important for you to bring your work and bring all your work to school. And I'm going to try to make sure we have smaller projects to start out with. So transporting your project from home to school will not make it bended. It won't crease it. I'm going to try to make sure that we stay on 8 by 10 paper as much as possible. I will also be sending home uh, paper with you, again, just in case you wind up at home, or let's say you started a great project and you spill something on it at your house. You're going to need to have extra paper at your house to make sure that you can start over or make adjustments if there are mistakes or problems that arise. So we will deal with that definitely in person. As some of you know, we will have a different rubric for each project that we do. And they're pretty specific rubrics, just like the expectations are going to be fairly specific and measurable. So we will go over those rubrics for each individual project. So there's no question about the expectations. Right now, I think that is all I have. So hopefully this is going to be a great school year and it's going to go much smoother than the end of last school year went. So we're just excited about learning and seeing you guys back in the building and making sure that you understand that even though we might not see you every single day in person, I personally want you to know that we still will be communicating. You still can ask questions and you're not out there on your own. We're going to be here. All the teachers are going to be here for you to help you out. So welcome back to Lakeside, you guys.